What is matcha? From its name, we don't really know what it is. It might not even be what you think it is either. We know it's green, and that's really it. Here we're gonna dive deeper into what matcha is and how it's used in Starbucks drinks. What is matcha? According to Wikipedia, matcha is a finely ground powder of specially grown and processed green tea leaves traditionally consumed in East Asia. Basically, it's green tea in powder form. Since green tea has caffeine in it, that means matcha does too. Matcha is green, powdery, and... what does it taste like? I always say that it tastes like grass, but not in a disgusting way. Like, it tastes like if you picked grass from the ground and started eating it. That's what it tastes like. It has a very earthy taste. I personally like matcha, especially when there's sugar added to it. I know, not very authentic, but luckily Starbucks matcha does have sugar added to it. I say this because I got my hands on real matcha and it does not taste like the Starbucks matcha at all. It's way different. I always have to add sugar to it whenever I'm using it. Now I see why the Starbucks matcha has sugar in it. I really like Starbucks matcha tea lattes over ice. At first I didn't, but I was very young. I was 17, so now I do like it. I think my taste buds have changed over time. There are a few matcha drinks on the Starbucks menu. You could get a matcha tea latte, a matcha cream frappuccino, or a matcha lemonade, which is really good, by the way. A matcha tea latte is probably not what you think it is at first, because when you hear latte, you probably think of coffee and milk, but this is not that. A matcha tea latte is mostly milk with a few scoops of powder into it, depending if you get it hot or iced. So there's no coffee in it at all. The name tea latte, the name probably comes from there being a lot of milk and then tea at the top, or like, you know, tea mixed in with it, so tea latte. I don't know. Like I said, if it's a hot matcha latte, you're gonna get some milk with a few scoops of powder into it. It goes into a steaming pitcher and it all gets steamed. Then if it's cold, in a shaker is gonna be milk, ice, and scoops of matcha powder. It gets shaken up and then it goes right into the cup. It's weird because in Canada, they actually do it differently. They have different recipe cards for the matcha than in the US. And a few years ago, we even did it differently here in the US. We just put everything straight into the cup and then swirled it around until it mixed. Kind of like what I did here, which is not very successful because I don't know if you can see, but there's a lot of clumps and stuff. So that was a big problem. That's why we switched over. Now a matcha cream frappuccino. Because it has cream in the name, it means that there's no added coffee into it. Although there is caffeine, like we said, from the matcha, and it's very tasty because it's very sweet. And I'll just mention the matcha lemonade. Basically, it's just lemonade with scoops of matcha into it. It gets shaken up and then that's it. But I think it's really good. I guess it's an acquired taste. I guess it depends if that's the stuff that you like. But I really like matcha lemonades. And I really recommend you try it if you like lemonade and matcha. What kind of milk goes best with matcha? I personally think any milk does. Like 2% oat milk, soy milk, almond... coconut milk. Coconut milk goes so good with matcha. I really like matcha lattes with soy milk. They're just so good. And what kind of syrup goes best with it? Again, any syrup. I feel like raspberry, vanilla, brown sugar. I know chai goes really good with it too, and white mocha. Although I haven't tried like caramel or toffee nut. Pretty sure that those would be really good too. I'll just quickly add that you can add matcha to any of your Starbucks drinks since it's just scoops of matcha, you know, it's pretty easy to just throw into any drink. I mean, that's up to you. I personally would add it to like maybe a refresher, maybe your chai latte, or adding it to a frappuccino would be really good and it gets all blended up. What was that TikTok viral drink? The moon chai or something, the moon latte. I forget how that one was made, but that one was really popular. Yeah, you can add matcha scoops to anything. I guess if you want that kick and you don't want to necessarily have coffee, matcha does alter the taste. So I would be, you know, if you add it to like your iced tea, just be aware like your iced tea is gonna taste different. It's gonna taste like matcha. I haven't really tried it, but go ahead, up to you. And that's matcha with a nutshell. And that's matcha in a nutshell. What it tastes like, what you can expect when you get one, what tastes best with it, milk-wise, syrup-wise. So let me know your favorite way to drink matcha. Bye!